I hope this message finds you well and that the past week was meaningful, productive, holy, and uplifting. This week we have the incredible privilege to read Parshas Vayeshev. And the parsha begins in a very nondescript way. Vayeshev Yaakov Avinu dwelled in Canaan, the land of his forefathers. Beautiful. Rashi HaKadosh picks up on why does the Torah need to tell me this? In other words, we already know where Yaakov Avinu is living. We already know where he's settled. And Rashi says something amazing. Rashi says, Lashon of Vayeshev means to settle in tranquility. And therefore, again, Rashi understands, Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. When Yaakov Avinu came back to Canaan and resettled in Canaan, and remember again, it was already tumultuous from the beginning. His first few moments in Canaan, back in the land of his forefathers, the encounter of Esav, then the abduction of Dinah, and now again, he's hoping that all of the tumultuousness of life is behind him. Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. Vayeshev Yaakov, he settled. All he wanted was tranquility and peace. And Rashi says something amazing. Rashi says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Yaakov Kiviyachol, you want peace? You want shalva? Isn't it enough that you'll have peace and tranquility in the world to come? You want peace and tranquility in this world also. Kafza alav rogzo shal Yosef. And remember again, it's in this week's parsha that the entire dynamic between Yosef and his brothers then kind of like bubbles over and becomes just a tragic and traumatic episode. And it's such a strange Rashi, it's such a strange statement of Chazal, almost as if God is faulting Yaakov Avinu for wanting tranquility in life. Don't we all want tranquility in life? Yaakov Avinu has been through so much during his lifetime. He's seen so much struggle, so much trauma. Isn't it normal for a person just to want a little bit of tranquility? And what's so wrong with that? And perhaps the Torah is teaching us an important life lesson, that sometimes the way we approach life is we assume that life is supposed to be tranquil. We assume that things are just supposed to fall into place, that things are supposed to go according to plan. And when they don't, we feel like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? What's happened over here? Quick, I better figure out where I've gone wrong or where life has gone off the rails. And the Torah is trying to sensitize us to the fact that although we all want tranquility, that's actually not the default setting of life. The default setting of life is trial, tribulation, difficulty, and challenge. Not necessarily tragedy or trauma, but there's always something. And if you think about it, it's by design, because it's through the adversity, it's through the challenge that ultimately we encounter growth. Think about it in our own lives. How much growth have you encountered in times of tranquility, right? How much have you grown as an individual when everything in life is exactly as you want it? Conversely, how much growth have we seen in ourselves in moments of adversity, in moments of challenge, and maybe even not during the adversity or challenge itself, but in the aftermath of it? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Yaakov, you've got it all wrong. I understand what you want. What you want is calm. What you want is tranquility. What you want is quiet. But that is the antithesis of what you need in order to grow and in order to self-actualize. Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. Yaakov wanted tranquility. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I understand it. But that's not what you need. It's what you want, but it's not what you need in order to grow. And what an incredible lesson for us. Because again, so often we encounter difficulty in life and we're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? What went wrong? And sometimes it's just the opposite. Sometimes when you encounter that moment of adversity or difficulty, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is setting you up for something dramatic, beautiful, meaningful, and cathartic. I just have to keep it together long enough to get myself through it and grow from it. Wishing everyone a good Shabbos, a beautiful weekend, and of course, a lichtige Chanukah.